First, I want to say, you are not alone. What you're feeling, fear, confusion, even grief over the life you thought you'd have, is not only human, it's more common than most people admit. Pregnancy can bring immense pressure to feel grateful and glowing. But the truth is, it's okay to not feel okay. You are walking through something life-altering, and it's hard, even when it's wrapped in the language of blessing. But please hear this. God is not disappointed in you. He is not shocked by your feelings, because the God who knit you together in your mother's womb knows your every thought now, and He loves you entirely, right in the middle of the mess. Nope, this may not be the path you wanted or expected, but just because it wasn't your plan doesn't mean it can't be God's goodness. Sometimes His perfect timeline feels disruptive right before it feels divine. He sees a bigger picture, one you can't yet see. Not because you're failing, but because you are still in the middle of the story. So no, you don't have to feel excited today to be a good mother tomorrow. And you don't have to be thrilled to be faithful. Faith in seasons like this might simply look like staying open. Staying open to the possibility that joy will come later. That God's grace is still working, and healing, and hope can grow even in the soil of this doubt. So ask Him to meet you as you are, not the version of yourself you think you're supposed to be. He promises to give peace that surpasses understanding, not peace that depends on everything making sense. You don't have to fake happiness to find peace. You can be raw and real and still be held. One day, this story may look different in hindsight. And one day, you're going to find yourself knowing and seeing that motherhood reshaped your soul in ways that you never thought it could, and brought you surprising beauty. But you don't have to rush that day. Take this journey one breath, one prayer, one quiet act of trust at a time. And let that prayer be simple. God, I don't feel ready, but I trust You knew I would be. So help me see this through Your eyes. You're not broken for struggling. You're brave for still walking forward. And you are so deeply loved.
We're on our way to our ultrasound. A little bit of a sore throat, and I'm scarfing down a sandwich because I'm never not hungry. How do you feel?
Nothing yet.
I'm nervous. I think just because of like all the possibilities. But also, I think seeing this little guy makes everything that much more real, which is also something I'm not sure I'm ready to face. Right?
Yeah, because as of now, you've just been really, really hungry these past few weeks.
And nauseous.
Yeah.
Really hoping that this appointment changes me in that way. Because right now it's just been completely miserable with everything I feel. And I need a nap. Probably like a really big fat smoothie. Also, I'm hoping that I like this doctor and the ultrasound itself isn't super uncomfortable, because I've heard that it is. But I have a pretty high pain tolerance in my opinion. So it's gonna be a longish appointment. I think we're gonna be there for at least an hour, hour and a half. And we're basically running exactly on time per usual, which is also adding to my anxiety a little bit, because I don't want to have to reschedule and have to wait again. So I thought I was 7 weeks going on 8, and then I guess when I made the appointment they told me my math is off. So I'm supposed to be 8 weeks going on 9. Like I will be 9 weeks on Wednesday. So we will see if that is the case after today.
night, I woke up in the middle of the night because I was starving. And I was like, just push through, just go to sleep. I just like, everything about food just brings me anxiety right now because nothing really has been great without causing me any form of gagging. And although I don't throw it back up and I keep it in, it's still just so dreadful. Like, I really want to enjoy food again. So I have one of these next to my bed now because if I ever do feel like that, I now don't have to walk all the way downstairs to get something to eat. This is the midnight snack. I bought a huge pack at Costco. I also suffered from the worst nausea attack in the shower yesterday in the morning. I wanted to meet my friend for like a morning/early brunch or breakfast date. She treated me to like an acai bowl at Press Juicery, which was really good. I feel like that went right through me, filled me up for maybe an hour, and it was like gone. As I was getting ready to meet her, I got the worst gag attack in the shower. I have yet to experience anything like that. That was so scary and horrible. It just felt horrible. And it was just from brushing my teeth. I mean, I've felt a little bit of a gag urge when I brush my teeth, especially when I brush my tongue, but it was next level. Like, I had to literally hold on to the wall and breathe through it. I feel like after that, it stayed with me. Like, that feeling, the nauseous feeling stayed with me for the whole day. And yesterday it was bad. So I pushed myself to go out with her. And then I was just like counting the minutes I could go lay down in bed because I don't know if I was just hit with a lot of fatigue at the moment or I really felt lousy. I felt like nothing tasted good yesterday. And then for whatever reason, I'm gonna get used to this is the look for this vlog, sorry. But for whatever reason, I was really wanting like nachos, icy. So I asked Jagger to take me to watch Lilo and Stitch because I wanted to see it anyways. And I know today he's gonna be out with his friend all day, literally just playing games. I'm like, cool, and I'm stuck in bed, miserable. This is so unfair. No one talks about how like just goes through the most between us. My room is also a pigsty. I haven't done laundry in like 2 weeks. I haven't even unpacked for my Joshua Tree trip. All I can say is I don't look forward to anything right now. I don't look forward to the next day because it's another day of the same. Yesterday, I just was emotionally hit really bad. I was trying to talk to my mom so I can feel less stressed out about finances. Because since all this, I think we've spent way more than I want to admit. This is a side of things I feel like people don't talk about openly. Jagger and I have not had debt for a few years, and now we have debt. I'm not saying having a little debt is a bad thing. It's just hard when we really didn't want to be those people again. Through the emotions of just like physically feeling what I can't help, because this is just the natural process of pregnancy, along with the mixed emotions of just like, I didn't want this right now. I wasn't ready for this right now. We weren't ready for this right now. And yesterday, I think it just really hit me. I can't help that, like, everything here at home, oh, none of it sounds good. And so I'm left with literally going out to eat or taking it day by day, like what sounds good. Sometimes it could be something that's store-bought, so then I try my best to go that route. But yeah, I just kind of emotionally hit a wall yesterday, trying to not stress out about it. And I think I guilt-tripped my mom, and she's like, don't feel bad. This is a natural part of this process, and it is what it is. She just kept reminding me to get through this hardship, this hard part, I should say. Holding the baby in your arms will change everything. I'm trying to remind myself of that, even though I don't know what that even feels like. So that is the vision I uphold, and I keep pushing towards so that I don't lose myself in all of this. I am now 10 weeks. I think what other thing upset me about yesterday was the fact that all this nausea had started wearing off. Like, I felt like I wasn't being so grossed out by certain things anymore. They still weren't appealing to me, but it's not like I smelled it or I looked at it and I want to throw up immediately. And I wasn't feeling the nausea as much throughout the day, so I really felt like we were on the up end, like getting somewhere. And then yesterday happened. So May is almost over. We're getting ready to go to Vegas for our bonds conference next month, and I'm still going to be in my first trimester. Technically, I will be starting my second trimester, but these symptoms don't just wear off overnight. Like, it doesn't work that way. So I am praying that in the next few weeks it really, really subsides, so I can at least try to enjoy most of the trip and get back to work, because right now Arbonne is all I have. For me to incorporate some type of financial like help for our family, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if God purposely set it up that way, but choosing to trust and try to just one step in front of the other. Hello. It is actually June 5th. I am 11 weeks today. I'm sorry. I was 11 weeks yesterday, but 11 weeks now. I haven't really recorded myself talking much about this entire experience very much because personally, I think I haven't really been able to stop feeling nauseous and just sick, really tired. The way I suffered from insomnia the very first weekend I found out, and the weekend I told Jagger. I didn't even bring myself to come on here to talk about like what it was like seeing the ultrasound because I completely forgot and I was still in the trenches. And at 11 weeks, I can say I am still feeling nauseous a little bit. Well, no, it was a little bit and then it started to pick back up again this week. Always hungry. The hunger never stops, but not everything grosses me out the way it did. I'm still grossed out by some things. I can't really stomach them, but the reason I hadn't come on here yet to really talk so much is because I just did not feel ready. This entire experience, in my opinion, what I don't feel like is common and like what most people experience in the sense of like most people are excited. They're wanting this, and it was just a surprise for us. That's why I don't have any footage of me taking the pregnancy test. And of course I don't have footage of that, but I also don't have a moment when I told Jagger. A few different reasons. One, I really didn't think I was pregnant. So I wasn't prepared. It wasn't like I was anticipating it. It's not like we were trying, which is a really frequently asked question, is whether we were trying or not, and the answer is no. You guys have been here for a little bit. No, I recently got off my birth control, but not because I wanted to have a baby, at least just yet. It was just because I wanted to really stop with the birth control. It was giving me really bad side effects, and I didn't like my experience on it. And I just was trying to be more healthy about how I take care of my cycle and be preventative in a different way. We used protection. So I don't really know. We went to see the baby on the ultrasound, which was an experience. But like I said, the majority of the reason why I didn't really want to record too much of like me in the trenches of all that is because I was going through a lot physically. All of these symptoms are new to me. It's my first time being pregnant. And I just was not in the best headspace, if I'm honest. I was very emotional, very mentally just loaded with like all the anxiety and all the fear that comes with just raising a human. And then too, feeling like guilty for maybe not being excited about it. And like I was trying my best to just be grateful because I know that there are so many women out there that probably really struggle with this. From what I have seen, just become more just awareness around infertility. And so I just want to be really sensitive to that. And I also want to be very truthful and honest to my personal story and our story and situation and experience with all this, because yeah, it's not really typical. I don't think it is, but what I've come to find out is the more and more I talk to people and they open up to me and they're so kind to share their moments of when they found out, they all really say they felt the same, which is kind of trippy because these are people that I have seen announce, they were pregnant stuff, and they look excited. They look excited. I'm not calling them fake. I'm just saying. It makes you feel just less alone, is all I'm saying. And that makes me really, proud of myself for choosing to be honest about it all. Of course, just trying to be sensitive again to other people's feelings and what people might be going through, because everyone's in a different boat. And all I can do is speak to mine. Hope that people don't take it personally, but just understand that there are other couples who maybe are in our boat and are just filled with fear and worry. And if you guys have also followed me for a decent amount of time, and you know that there was a time period, my gosh, the majority of my adulthood, literally up until maybe last year, where I did not want children and my husband did not want children. So we both were like, no kid zone. Not because we didn't like kids. I mean, I have tons of nephews and nieces, and same with him. It's just different when it's your own. And we were very much into just him and I. That's just how we wanted him. I don't think I need to explain to anybody exactly my reasons for it. I do love kids, obviously. Raising your own is a completely different story. Now that my mind has kind of come around to the idea of maybe wanting to have one, because I just didn't expect it to happen outside of my plan. That's another reason why I want to be very careful about how I share my experience, because I don't want to look back on this one day. The internet's pretty permanent, I'm aware. Again, I'm big on just holding true to myself and sharing me, and there's never going to be a moment I'm not honest about this with my own child. So I wouldn't share this if I didn't think willing to have that conversation. everyone's built differently. Looking at like real footage, real time emotions is way different from me coming on here and explaining and sharing my truth. I guess that's kind of why I'm kind of happy I did not record myself explaining this when I was super emotional, because now, being 11 weeks, my mind's in a little bit of a different place. Obviously I've been just trying to get through all the first trimester stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing just like the funny, unhinged realness side of all that. Nobody prepared me. I have my friends to thank for that. Everybody was always like, you need to have a baby, get pregnant. Well, you should have warned me, because this is so unfair of you. But yeah, I just wanted to, I want to be honest about our experience, and I want us to really just to look at this as like God knows what he's doing. Everyone keeps telling me like you're about to see him really, really move in your life. And I'm trying to just anticipate and hold on to those words, because I know that God does not give us a spirit of fear, and I know that that's mostly where our lack of joy and lack of happiness for the situation comes from. Like, I know that. And I don't want to look back on this and watch something that I'm like, geez, now my child's gonna have to see this one day. I would much rather explain it to them than them watch me like lose my mind, my emotions over being so upset about something. Because to be honest, when I found out, I thought I was in the clear. You know, you see that first line, and then all of a sudden the second line appeared as I was wooing too soon. And then the second line appeared, and I was like, you know, just fear just flooded me, and I started crying on the toilet. So, and Jagger was not happy. So, unfortunately, that was our scene. And even at the ultrasound, I think that really helped, because seeing the baby honestly made it feel all that much more real. And I think we're just now starting to come around to the idea of like, okay, this could possibly be cool. Jagger refuses to use the words happy, excited at all. Like, he won't use them. And I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, that must offend you. Like, no, because I'm really not that far off from that. Like, I myself, like, God knows why he puts two people together. Why. This is what he's handing us now rather than later when we're probably more open-minded to it. But only he knows. And I think right now we're trying to work through all the stress and pressure we feel, because I only just now quit my job. I shared that part of my story too in like a previous vlog or two. I recently just quit my job, and so I was really starting to get into momentum of like, okay, we're self-employed, we're gonna be boss babying it up with my business, with social media, and this hit me. So I've been sick the last like 2 months, it feels like, for sure. I say 2 months because I don't really feel like I felt it the first month, and I didn't know. But yeah, it's not coincidental that this happened and this baby was conceived literally the weekend that I had quit my job. So there definitely is like a lot of little things and little moments where I'm like, okay, God's hand is definitely in this, because timing is too coincidental, and I refuse to believe it is just coincidence. I know for a fact that there was some emotion that ran through us, both him and I, when we saw the ultrasound and we heard the heartbeat for the first time, because it just felt so real at that point. There will be a moment where I probably will bring Jagger on here to talk about it too eventually, but I know that he's probably not ready to do that yet. I'm pretty I feel like I'm a bit more extra like that than maybe a lot of my friends, and they're like, I don't know how you can come on here and share all this. Like, we're all built differently. All I can say is we're all built differently, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. I just feel like it's helpful to me when I see people share experiences like this, and even though there's part of me that feels a bit awkward about talking about all this and being so honest about it, there's a bigger side to me that feels more like I need to do this, and like this is like where I feel like I don't know if thrive's the right word. Again, we're all built differently. If something were to happen and I'd have to come on here and share that part of my story, I feel not fine, but like ready to do that. I mean, I guess no one's ever ready, but you know what I mean. Well, my next appointment is not till June 17th. It's the appointment where I will be doing the NIPT testing. I guess have the option to find out the gender. I don't think we're going to find out that day. I think we're going to opt out from knowing. Possibly do like a gender reveal. Trying to find ways to romanticize this entire thing. So like having a gender reveal to share with our family and our friends who are generally so happy for us. I think it just helps us feel a bit more of the joyous side than the stress and the fear side, if that makes sense. I'm curious. Right now I have symptoms that make me believe, based on like everything that like I've read and people say, it could be a girl, but just don't really know. I don't know. I don't really know what it's going to be. In this vlog, I plan to include basically that whole process up until we find out the gender. So in the meantime, if you want to see more day-to-day things, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm sharing a lot more of like my first trimester, just things from the drafts that I hadn't and couldn't post at the time. I'm going to keep you guys in the loop with the rest of the journey up until the next appointment. I have a trip next week coming up, and I'm hoping that since I'll be cusp of the end of the first trimester, I won't be feeling all of these symptoms as bad. I can make it to the trip, but I also will take it easy if I need to. Just chill in my hotel. I'm just having like a day where I'm in my feels. My house is so unorganized. I feel like I haven't been able to like muster up enough energy to actually like clean my house. God, I feel so foolish recording this because I don't even know if I'm going to share it. I always, not to me, but to some people, it's kind of lame when you post yourself online and you're like emotional and crying. I just can't hold back the tears, but obviously I have things I want to share. That's really what it is. I just feel like life has been so on autopilot. Keep waiting for like the excitement of all this to kick in. Parts of it will sound nice and exciting at times, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, no. Making a video and being super honest about my feelings like this really makes me controversial because I'm aware that there's so many women who struggle to conceive. Like sometimes I feel like I would give anything to just be that woman who wants to do this, at least right now. When I had shared like I was becoming more open to the idea of being a mom one day. I wasn't lying. I just wanted to want it. I wanted to want it when I wanted to want it. I had complete other plans for this season right now. It's not that I didn't want this to come eventually. It has been very isolating, and I am somebody who does not I don't have expectations from people. The more expectations you have on people, the more you are to be disappointed. So it's not like I care or I'm offended by people not checking up on me or anything like that. I think it just feels isolating because from the get-go, Jagger and I have had like a strain in our relationship since finding this out. I wish I could say that we've been working like a team emotionally and like just physically and how we carry ourselves throughout like our day-to-day life. It hasn't been like that. We've been, and I was finally honest with him about this because I really wanted to give him time to process everything. Between the two of us, he was the most like unhappy about it. I can't blame him. I'm not upset about that. I think I was feeling very much like I was being treated, not intentionally, but unintentionally, like the only person in this relationship that was pregnant, and like, well, this is your thing to deal with, so you figure it out. Even though I know for him, he was just dealing mentally with a lot of pressure to have to provide and be the sole provider for our whole family, and I can't imagine what that feels like. I don't think anyone is looking for sympathy on either side or excuses. I'm just explaining our situation to you. I feel like as of late, he has been more, not just receptive to the idea, but like just more there for me. I feel like we're now just starting to really operate more as a team. He really is still like the best husband I could have ever asked for. I think when situations like this come along, it's not easy for everybody to handle them. I don't think we really run across any hard things in our life until this. And I told him, you know, I feel the exact same way you do to a very close like level, but on top of it I have to deal with all the symptoms and my body changing and my hormones fluctuating and being so emotional about like everything that I literally am like, I am such a wuss. Like this is not how I would be, and I feel like I'm losing myself. So I'm grateful that he's now coming out of his funk to be able to help me through mine, because I'm still the one who has to carry a lot of this through the rest of this journey. I have to admit that not every day feels like this. Not every day I'm stuck in this mental like warp, but Today I woke up feeling super heavy, just like I don't feel like myself. I feel like I'm losing myself, and I'm over it. I'm so over being on autopilot, and like my days are just all over the place. Not to mention my symptoms are still very much there, even though they're not to the extent that they were at their worst. I've definitely moved past the worst of it, but I'm still I still have a lot of food aversions, and I still get nausea throughout the day. Lately, the biggest thing that's really been debilitating actually is my headaches, and I've been trying my best to down water like no other. So I don't know what else to do about that. And when I get one, it does eventually take me out towards the end of it. It's like basically a full-on migraine. And like I'm used to having headache, all this. When you're pregnant, you can't take the strong stuff. So we did take the gender test and the NIPT testing at my last appointment. I still have not received results from all that, so we're still waiting on it. I think that I will start to feel better about this when some of these symptoms finally start to go away. But I just, right now, I'm not falling for that. Second trimester will feel 10 times better because I just don't know. I don't know if that's what will happen. I'm starting to like come to terms with like you'll probably have to deal with all of this to some degree most of your pregnancy. I'm not trying to make myself prepare for the worst on purpose. I just want to like find my groove in it so I can try to get through it. I guess the only thing I could imagine is if there is someone out there who feels just like me, then they feel comforted in knowing that they're not alone.